What's up, everyone? I'm Nita Strauss, and this is my crib. Well, it's my studio. It's Cribs for Nerds. This is the studio that we put together with GC Pro. Come on in and check it out. I'm a guitar player and solo artist. I've worked with Alice Cooper, Demi Lovato, and the Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. For me personally, as a creator, I like having a space that is not in my house that I can go to create. So when we first started conceptualizing the idea of building this studio, which is through the garage in our house, it's actually half of our garage in the house, we thought, what better way to sort of exit your house and come into a studio space and have that sense of like, now I'm here to work. So I love having the double doors. I love having these several layers of wall that we have, in this room with the air gap and everything between, because you have the sense of you open the one door, you step across the threshold, you open and close the second door and you shut them, and it's, the sound is sucked out and you're just in your own space. The GC Pro team put this spaceship of a studio together, and with educating me about how it is put together and how everything works, they made me feel like the captain of the ship, that I could really fly this thing, even down to the desk, down to the Nucleus desk that's here that they suggested for me, because we wanted to have something we could have a keyboard underneath, the machine on the desk, the rack mount systems on top for the Kemper and for the UA gear, monitor on the top of that, the speakers, everything all in its place, perfectly functional, exactly as I need it. We, of course, have a long-standing relationship with Guitar Center, first as loyal customers and more recently doing clinics together, doing signature products and releasing exclusive limited vinyl variants. So much fun stuff we've done with Guitar Center. So when we reached out about this project, I don't even think we were fully aware of the full scope of what GC Pro can do. You think of Guitar Center as a place you go and buy strings or buy instruments, and it was not until this process of putting the studio together that we really understood how deep GC Pro goes into really building and designing out these kind of spaces. So the space is really multifunctional. Of course, for me, the number one thing is being able to come in and plug my guitar in and record quickly and easily, not figuring out where cables are and, what I need to record what. I can walk in here and plug a guitar into my interface and be recording in as long as it takes Pro Tools to start up. For recording drums, we do have our full touring kit set up in here. You guys know my boyfriend is a drummer, so we wanted to be able to track and practice live drums in here. So we have a couple patch bays around the room. We've got one behind the desk here coming out of Pro Tools, one in the ISO booth over here, and then another one back behind the drums. And the cables run over our heads and on the other wall behind the desk. And that way I'm not running 16 cables across the floor in this small space. So we can really easily mic up his kit, have a singer in the ISO booth, have a cab in the ISO booth, mic that, and take the cables right here to my Pro Tools system without having spaghetti cables all over the floor. So organization is so key, I think, in what we do, because if your space is a mess, it's hard to just keep a clear head. So once we decided we wanted to have a real studio set up, I very quickly realized that I know a lot about recording guitars, but I didn't know enough about the outboard gear and everything else that you need to make a true professional functioning studio that we could really come in and make a full record right here in this room. So that was when we first reached out to GC Pro and really heavily leaned on the team there for their knowledge and expertise in making something functional, but also something that wasn't so complicated and over the top that we would be able to use all the functionality here. And so not only was it this kind of pipe dream of an idea to not run the cables across the floor, but Kevin actually found a local contractor in our area to come in and do the installation. So it wasn't like, here's your patch base, figure it out. But he was here on site making sure all the cables were running properly, everything was tested, everything was plugged in, which is something I would absolutely not have known how to do myself. I imagine me calling up electricians and be like, do you know how to run audio cables through a wall? I wouldn't have known how to phrase it or how to say it. So it was really cool that not only did he come up with this great idea, but sort of saw it through to the execution process and didn't just sort of say, yeah, it's a great idea, go ahead and do it. Marcin and Kevin, our GC Pro reps, are like the odd couple. They really are. Like, if you saw these two guys standing next to each other in the checkout line at the grocery store, you wouldn't even think that they know each other, because one is like very clean cut, professional looking, and the other is like off the wall, eccentric musician type. So the odd couple came into our space, and we got so lucky with the two of them, because they are both just have this intrinsic encyclopedic knowledge of music and gear and recording and exactly what works and what doesn't work from practical experience. And so fun, such a great vibe. Just couldn't have asked for a better team to work with. A typical day for me when I'm here at home is I will get up, of course, take my dogs out, make my coffee, and then I will come in here and plug my guitar into the Apollo and load up whatever I'm working on that day. So it could be rehearsing for tour, it could be recording demos, it could be doing Zoom interviews. You know, a lot of time they'll want me to have a guitar on and play. So I will really just have a cable plugged in already, ready to go, come in, grab a guitar off the rack. They're all tuned up, restrung, you know, ready to be played at any time. And what more could you really ask for? I mean, that's the dream. My primary need for the space, of course, is playing guitar. So I'm so used to using Pro Tools. I'm so used to Universal Audio interfaces. We went with a Pro Tools rig and the Universal Audio Apollo. Got the two X8Ps back here. I personally have been a huge proponent and fan and user of modeling amps and software for years and years. I use it in floorboards, I use it in my rack mount systems at home and on the road, and I use it in my recording software as well, whether it's UA plugins, Neural DSP, TuneTrack, EasyMix, Superior Drummer. And that really carries on throughout the studio, using the Slate mics to audition different microphone sounds, using the Kemper for different guitar tones, using my Rocktron Prophecy preamp for more different modeling options, using the plugins within the Pro Tools system. So many different ways to get the perfect sound for what you're looking for. In terms of recording drums, we do have our full touring kit in here to be able to record real drums in here, as well as the machine in case we just want to tap tempo some ideas out and not fully get into the recording of the drums just yet. We've got the beautiful Atom A7Xs for monitoring, being able to hear your system, what you're playing, what you're doing nice and clearly. If we're going to rehearse in here with the band, we have a full PA loaded in the room as well, so we can just come in here, fire it up, and get loud. And if I'm going to do interviews, you know, you got to get the influencer set up, so I do have my trusty ring light back there, the most important part of any modern studio. As an artist, you know, in these modern times when you're working with a lot of different people, whether it is on the technological side of building out a studio or the creative side of writing a song, doing co-writes and this and that, it's always so important to have your own stamp on everything that you do. So having your own space like this really allows you to flesh out those ideas and make them into a reality before you bring them out into the world and they get pulled and pushed to each different kind of direction by working with different producers and engineers and songwriters. Having your own space like this just lets you figure out what that idea is first. And I think that's the most valuable thing. As far as the future goes, I actually can't even see us needing to upgrade anything for a long time. We are so well set up here, we're so well equipped that until new technology comes out, I think we'll just be able to create really happily in here for a long time. All right, guys, well, it has been so much fun having you here in the studio. Thank you for spending part of your day with us and checking out what we do here. Make sure and check out the team at GC Pro if you're thinking about building a studio of your own. But for now, I have a tour to get ready for, so gotta let you go.